Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed. Welcome along. Actually, Joe, something before we get into the official PJ and Jim's After Show podcast.
Indeed.
Can I just say, give a shout out, right? It's not often we ever give shout outs on the podcast.
Never
really,
do, yeah.
Right. But Sam in Monaghan.
Right.
Now, all we know is that Sam sent us in a WhatsApp, right? And he basically said that he had binged.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
All of the after shows. He'd literally done a full Game of Thrones or a full, House of Cards or Breaking Bad or something. He set out to go back on all the old episodes.
Brilliant.
And he said he had months of listening to all the old episodes from way back because they're all up on YouTube.
Well, let's make this the worst one ever. So he'll try and get him over his addiction.
But the thing is, he was saying that now he's fed up because that thing happened to him. The same thing happened to him that happens you and I when it comes to like watching Netflix or something. That you finish it.
Oh yeah, and then you're lost.
Yeah. And now he's in a situation where he has to wait week to week to get the new episode.
It's penance, isn't it? Yeah. If I was you, I'd listen to something else now, Sam. Get into something different. Because...
Don't say that!
Yeah, you might as well, yeah. Oh, it'd be a penance.
Yeah, I'll tell you, and the new episodes, they'd never be as good as the old ones.
No, I'll tell you, it's always a disappointment. It's a downhill slippery slope.
Do you know what I find with PJ and Jim? Not as good as they used to be.
Not as good as they used to be. When did they start? It doesn't matter. Last week. But they were great when they did that first one.
Sam, fair play to you for putting that much dedication and effort in. And spread the good word.
Spread the good word indeed. Yeah, you're good. Do you know what I did the other day? I heard so much about Aslan lately.
Yeah.
And I watched their video. You know, remember they were in and they were telling us about their song Hold On.
The new one.
Yeah. And there was you on the video.
What?
Your voice is featured in the Aslan official video. Now, there you go. I had no idea. I was listening.
Is this a wind-up now? Is there going to be some...
This is not a wind-up. I wanted to see the look on your face when I said it. I couldn't believe it. So at the start of the official Aslan video, there's a countdown, right?
Right.
And it's because, I suppose they haven't released a song in ages.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of thing around Christy where we're all, hoping he's okay all the time because he's such an integral part of all our lives growing up. And there's a countdown. It's like 5. And you hear all these people's voices. And there it is. Jim McCabe's voice comes up talking to Christy. Must be from their interview in here. I can't remember what you said. I wish I could remember the words. Right? I don't even know what I'm about to say.
I don't want to pour cold water on this, right? But we do we've spoken a lot about your ears, okay, and we've spoken a lot about your impersonations.
Yes, we
have.
have.
And how you think that your version of Nelson Mandela is totally different to your version of Ronan Keating. I'm just saying, in terms of somebody perceiving somebody else's voice, you don't have a great track record.
He sounded exactly like you. He said, "All right, what's the story?" He goes, "Come on, Chrissy, I love your stuff." He says, it sounded exactly like you. Exactly like you.
Oh, man,
"Come on,
right.
Chrissy," or that. He goes, yourself, the tube has been there in the fingers now. It was definitely you. It was definitely you, yeah.
Oh, my God.
At the end you said, "Giving it up for the fingers, myself." That's definitely
right, well,
you.
that it certainly does sound like me.
Yeah. No, I'm only messing, but it's definitely your voice. Like, I hear it every day. I'll be 100% sure. We have to have a look at it now.
Okay. And then just obviously the most obvious follow-up question is then, is there a few quid in it from me?
I don't think so. Anyway, you'd be so...
May I say, if it turns out that PJ Gallagher is correct, I am honoured and privileged to feature alongside alongside the greatest Irish band the world has ever known.
And it's a pretty good video as well. It's the lads on the docks here and they're all holding their guitars and just sitting there. It's a real static kind of video.
Well, of course, it had to be done during the whole social distancing thing, didn't it?
Yeah, and they're all just sort of standing there. So you hear the music, they're not even playing, but Christy's singing type of thing.
Yeah.
Real sort of mood shots. But you definitely hear the voice of yourself.
Actually, Sam and Monaghan, that's what you should do now. You should jack in all this listening to us and go check out that new Aslan video. The start's very good, apparently.
Before the band get into it. Brilliant. It's really good.
Before the band.
Yeah, and then the band starts and you're like, oh, yeah.
Whatever. Yeah,
Crack's gone over there. Play your man again. Go on, Yeah, it's brilliant stuff.
Oh, man.
It took me a complete surprise the other day. I was like, that's Jim. I had to listen to it a few times to make sure.
Wow.
Because the last thing I want to do was, now, I swear to God.
If it turns out to be somebody else, right, this is going to be hilarious. Now.
I know,
if I listen to it and go, I wonder what he's talking about. I'm not in that at all. I can't hear myself there at all.
Yeah, because they go, is that not you? And the very first thing you go, talk to Joe there. Yeah. Oh my God, that's Joe Duffy. how should I even think that Jim could be like Joe Duffy the two? Literally, they're unconfusable.
Yeah.
And I could have got it so wrong. But it's weird the way stuff like that springs up, isn't it? You know, that stuff has happened. I remember Jason Bourne, a friend, he was put in an ad without his permission years ago. And it was one of those things, he got fair upset by it, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But then the other things happened. Like, do you remember a few weeks ago, I met Stephanie Preisner for a coffee. And I ended up on the news.
That's right.
Oh, I was delighted with myself. I was there. I was like turning to the camera and everything. I'm on the news. I'm on the news. Look, Stephanie, we're on the fucking news.
That's unbelievable. That you've had your own shows. You've been acting in Young Offenders. You're one of the most recognisable faces in the country. You're always on the telly.
Yeah.
And you got a horn for being on the
news.
news.
In the background.
And you were only in the background.
I was in the background next to the sandwiches. Do you remember? I was waiting for the sandwich. They were handing out the sandwiches, and I was there on the news. And I was thinking, I hope they don't give me my sandwich now. I'll have to walk out of the shop. I was there. I'm looking at it. Look. I was there going, oh yeah, I forgot to say cheese. On the news. I was delighted to be on the news. I don't know what it was.
Isn't that weird when it's out of context?
I think that's what it is.
What is that
isn't
about us? Like if somebody said, RT are coming in, they want to ask you what your opinion is on something, blah blah blah. You'd be all sort of, right, God, okay, let me think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You do television, you do radio all the time. It's just your job.
Just your job.
And then just a slight tweak, and it's like, oh my God.
Jeez.
I tell you what's mad for me.
And sometimes it's really exciting, and other times it's complete and utter.
Do you know what's mad for me as well is, it won't be as bad for you, because you've done both sides of it now, right?
Yeah.
You do this with us.
Yeah.
So where you're the host and you're asking the questions and interviewing and everything.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm mainly this. It's very rare. In fact, I'm not even sure if it's ever happened, but it'd be very rare that I'm asked questions, as in the interviewee. Now, you and I did it once for a special for something. Some sort of music special or something we did. Oh, I can't remember what it was. Yeah. Anyway, we're sitting here and we were being interviewed for something, and I find I'm not comfortable with that at all.
Like you're revealing yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I asked the fucking questions. You're like a copper. You're like a copper, isn't it? It's like imagine walking up to a guard. That's how it is to you. Walk up to a guard, and go, "Are you all right? Are you? Have you had a few drinks today? Have you? What? I'm just asking if you had a few drinks. You're on you. You look like you might have had. Why are you slurring your words? Why are you slurring your words to a cop?
Yeah, see that line there? Just walk it. Yeah, the yellow one. Yeah, just walk along that.
And he'd be like, wait a minute, who's asking? I'm asking. Right? Yes. Why are we I mean,
actually, that would make
me... Do you often drink on the job? What are you talking about?
Well, that would make me the worst interviewee ever.
Yeah.
Somebody turn around and say to you, so, how did you get started in radio? Well, how did you get started in radio?
What's it to you? You bollocks. I ask you a question, you ask me a question. We're going to do this.
But I'm the interviewer. You're the interviewer,
right? Yeah. I'm the one with 30 years experience.
I'm the interviewer, right?
Yeah. 30 years experience over here, you nosy shite, you. Yeah.
To be honest with you, the penny's starting to drop why I never get invited on panel shows.
Don't ask Jim Anthony's first touch.
Jeez, I tell you something. Yeah. Or else he'll turn around and say to you, no, I'll tell you the way you should have asked that question.
Very badly phrased, if you don't mind me saying. Very badly phrased.
Oh,
Jim's the only fella that got stopped by the guards and they go, where do you live? And he goes, there's a better way of putting that now.
Yeah. Look, to be honest with you, I think you could have cut to the chase on it.
Yeah. You don't have to be as confrontational when you're doing this. You know, it's better to get people outside.
Trust me, I find if you start off with, what's your favourite colour?
Yeah. That'd be amazing. A guard stops you. Sorry, just can you pull in there? Yeah, just go. Can I just want to ask you what's your favourite colour? If you had to pick a favourite vegetable, what would it be? What the fuck are you talking about? Go with this.
Yeah.
This is going to end in a breathalyzer.
If you were a sports car, what sports car would you be?
Yeah. If you had to be a woman and pick two names, Reed or Sandra, what one would you go for? What the fuck are you talking about? Just anyway, thank you for cooperating.
Please blow into the bag.
Yeah, blow into the bag there. We had a bit of crack, didn't we? Two of us. It's right you'd like to ask me.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah,
way better. But you don't mind being interviewed, do you?
No, I don't. No, I find it easier because I suppose I'm practicing, and I suppose as a stand-up, to be honest, you talk about yourself all the fucking time.
Well, that's true.
And you don't. I don't really care. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. It doesn't really like no. And I'm not hiding some horrible racial undertones that I'm afraid. I'm not going to say something I think. Yeah. I get myself in trouble from time to time. I don't really care about that. That's all right. Because you can't say that without upsetting somebody. You know what I mean?
Did
if
you
say,
ever have
I don't like
right?
Scalextrics, the Irish Scalextrics Foundation, they go, me feelings are falling out of me hole.
The next gig you did to be a lad with a placard.
Yeah.
Fucking, down with anti-Scalextrics views.
Yeah, sure you bastard, you. Whatever. Grand. You know what I mean? And I'm not like, there's no part of me that's walking around going, oh, them guys, I wish they'd leave the world. That's not in me. So
you're all right. You can sort of say what you need to say.
Yeah, and most of the time when I'm slagging stuff, I'm slagging myself.
You never got media training, did you?
No, I didn't. No, Jesus, I never heard
Was anybody ever, did that ever, because the way there was agent, like, okay, politicians get it and all that sort of stuff, but did anybody when you got an agent or anything, did anybody say, like, anybody try and coach you when you were doing interviews with the papers or interviews on radio or anything?
I never heard.
We get that when we do interviews and there's, somebody will come into studio and generally, to be honest with you, in our situation, most of the time it's just to remind them what their gigs are and stuff.
Yeah, in fairness, yeah.
But, in case you might say something wrong and somebody go, oh, that'll have to come out of the interview.
And you're like, will it? I hope so. Take it out. They're the best people when you say, if you're doing a podcast or whatever and someone still comes in, they let themselves go and you're like, oh, that was brilliant. You're going to have to cut that out. I can't have that in. You're like, what can't you have in? Just the way
basically everything I said.
Just the way I said, the way I said, I wonder what homeless people taste like. I don't know if that's going to go down well. You're like, okay, yeah, we'll protect you from yourself. You fucking idiot.
So nobody ever had to do that for you?
No, not that I'm aware of. I think, actually, it has happened a few times. I'm trying to think of what it was. Because I definitely didn't know what the fuss was about. I fucking can't think of what it was now.
No, but somebody was saying to you can't say that or
someone
cut
said,
that out.
we're going to have to cut that out. And I was like, why? And they were like, just, it could
just
cause...
for your own sake. Oh, don't mind me.
I don't mind me. I don't mind. I was like, I think it's funny, And they were like, it's a bit, we're pushing the boundaries a bit there. I was like, I don't care. Like, I suppose they're more worried about them. I suppose that's the thing is someone comes on to our radio station, right? It's like someone comes on to our show and they come on to Classic Hits and they say something like, I think we should be roasting pet dogs alive and eating them, and they walk off and they're grand.
Yeah.
They get a bad reputation, but the solicitors
we get sued.
arrives with us. It's like, you shouldn't ever have let him say. And you're like, we didn't.
Yeah.
Of course we didn't want him to say it. And then, of course, it's Jim has to do the whole reading out the whole, we apologise as a station. Most sincerely, for the remarks made by a guest are not representative of this station. And then you end up with all that. So I suppose they were just afraid of that. So they're off the box a bit clever.
That's actually what makes this so enjoyable is because as you say, the internet's the Wild West.
Yeah, it's the final frontier.
There are no sheriffs. There are no whatever.
No.
So the only thing is, I know I'll never have to write Actually, how bad would you have to have been if I ever have to write an apology letter for this podcast?
Oh, imagine that letter. And who would you write it to?
Yes.
Imagine.
To the people of the internet.
To people of the world. I would like to disassociate myself from this individual. I know.
Yeah.
But that's the good fun about it, I suppose, isn't it? That's the thing, though.
To be fair now, the radio show, it's not exactly censored.
No.
When a lad turns, what was it you said?
I don't know.
What was the time when you said fucking on the show?
Oh yeah, he says
What were you talking?
I was talking about me dad dying. I was talking.
Yeah.
And I was saying he had so many. I said people say life is short. Some people live too long. I was saying. I was there. My elf fella, for example, he had his heart was gone, his lungs were gone, his liver was gone, his kidneys were gone, and they were like, "Don't worry, we have a machine for that." And I was thinking, would you fucking just let him go? And I just realised I said fucking like that on the air, and then.
And do you know what was brilliant, right? It was a bit like when you told that famous stat that goes around about not Zag, Podge and Raj, but there wasn't a single complaint.
Not a single complaint.
All that came in was all the laughy emojis.
That was it.
And all of the fair play to you, PJ.
And you're only human and all that.
Keeping it real and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You're the only man that broke all the rules and got fucking applauded for us.
But then last week I called Leeds fans rat nibbling gits and I got the amount of complaints on the WhatsApp. Disgraceful! You should be taken off the air, one fella said. Remember that? Yeah.
It's just hard to believe. Remember we got the complaint because you said hole.
Hole. Got a handwritten letter.
You can only imagine what that lad thought when you were talking about fucking this and fucking that.
Yeah, and what were we saying? Your man rubbing the nuggets off himself in the car, we said last week. Remember? All of that stuff that was going on. Yeah. And like that. And then the written letter, we got a written letter to the management here, the complaints department.
Like handwritten now, not even, not done up on a word processor or on an email.
And he was
like
upset
a handwritten letter.
On CSI Saturday, what he says, shut your hole. And he was outright. Man, I found a pen and a piece of paper, and he bought a stamp. And he looked up the address. I presume he doesn't know how to use the internet, so he had to use a telephone directory. And he kept his rage up for that long, and then posted it and sent it all off with a return address.
For the word hole.
For the word hole.
Yeah. I'd say he's still in the middle of his letter for the fucking. How many weeks ago was that?
I'd say the poor fella had an aneurysm, did he? When he was on the following week, we had another one. I can't remember what we said.
Do we see
that's what I said. We were saying a sentimental old piss, I said, about Jerry Maguire the following week.
Right, yeah.
And we were worried that the poor hole in the face man was after having.
So as you can see, the normal radio show isn't exactly censored, as I say.
True enough,
It's like, it too can be a little bit loose around the edges and all that.
But it does explain how I recognised you on Aslan's video when I heard it. I was like, oh no, Christy.
Oh my God! Get out of here, because I want to go and listen to the Aslan video and see if it's really me.
I'll be honest with you, it feels like it's your voice is actually so nice. You know what it feels like? You know when you're slashing yourself in bed and just before you realise what's happening, you get that lovely feeling. That's your voice. It's fucking beautiful, Jim.